In the last episode, I said that I would give some functionality to the poisonous potato. And I thought long and hard about what kind of functionality I would give it, and then I had an epiphany. We already have the Wand of Dimensions. It would only be fitting that we add another wand, the Wand of Poison. And then I had another epiphany on top of that. Let's update the entire wand system. Ooh, baby, this is gonna be a good one. Welcome back to Make It Worse. In today's episode, we're going to have a lot of data pack changes, but most of them are going to be renaming files, moving them around, changing directories, but we will also be doing some data pack programming today. In our wands namespace, I'm going to create a new folder and name it recipe. And inside our Minecraft namespace, recipe, I'm going to drag our dimensional_wand JSON file into recipe. And we'll open the file up and you will see that we have our item name set to Wand of Dimensions, but the file name is Dimensional Wand. I personally don't like that, so I'm going to rename the actual JSON file to wand_of_dimensions, just so the item name matches with the recipe name. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the caret on a stick to just a regular stick, and I'm also going to change the key and pattern. The key right now is S, O, and E. S represents stick, O represents obsidian, and E represents ender pearl, but I would like to change this. I'm going to change the O to a B and the E to a T. I'm going to change that here as well. And what I want this to represent is S is for the stick, B is for the block, and T is for the tip of the wand. So in this case, we have our stick, we have our block of obsidian, and we have our ender pearl for the tip. And the last thing we're going to change in here is we are going to add a new component, Minecraft::consumable. And this is going to take a map-like, which again, like I mentioned in the previous episode, is just a set of curly brackets. And inside of that, we're going to put consume_seconds. And we are going to put the maximum value that we can in here, 214.748.3647. In previous episodes, we were using the caret on a stick because the caret on a stick allowed us to use right-click detection. But as of recently, Minecraft has introduced new ways that we can use right-click detection. For example, if we add the consumable component, this will now trigger every tick that the player is trying to eat it, which is also why we set the consume seconds to something so high. And if we did the math on it, we can actually see that this is going to be a few days worth, not even just a few. How many years worth of time is this? This is 68 years worth of time. I really hope I did the math right on that, otherwise I'm going to be really embarrassed. And underneath the consumable component, let's go ahead and add Minecraft::custom data and a set of curly brackets. And inside these curly brackets, we're going to put wand_type:, and then in quotes, impulse. Now we're going to do a little bit of editing to the directories and file structure. Inside of our functions folder, we're going to create a new folder and name it wands. And inside of wands, a new folder called Wand of Dimensions with underscores. We're then going to drag use portal to nether and use portal to overworld into that folder. And let's create a new file called use_wand_of_dimensions.mc function. And inside of here, we're basically going to be copying the stuff from tick. So these 4 lines right here from the play sound to play sound, we're going to go ahead and cut that, and we're going to go ahead and paste it on in. And because of how we're planning to set this up, instead of using @A for all players, we're just going to do @S, and that's going to be for all of these. And we're also going to remove the tag for wand.usingDimensionalWand. And we have some warnings here that we cannot find the functions. That's because we moved them to the new directory. So instead of wands::use portal to nether, it's now going to be wands::wands/wand of dimension use portal to nether. And similarly, we're just going to copy wand/wand of dimension/, and we're going to paste it in between wands: and use portal to overworld, and that should resolve the functions. Back in the tick function, let's also cut out this tag @A remove wand already teleported, and we're going to paste that at the bottom here. I could have had you copy it the first time, but I completely forgot that we actually need to move it. And back in the tick function, there's going to be more that we want to do here, but for now, all we're going to need is the schedule function wands:tick 1t. We'll add more later. Next, what I would like to do is add a new file to the wands folder, not wand of dimensions, but just the wands folder, and we're going to call it using_impulse_wand.mc function. And while this isn't all we're going to add to it, we're going to add execute if entity at s, and then in the square brackets nbt equals, and then do your curly brackets, selected item, another set of curly brackets, id, quotes, Minecraft, stick, comma after those quotes, components, another set of curly brackets, Minecraft, custom_model_data, set of curly brackets, floats, set of square brackets, 1f, and then outside of all that, run function wands:/wand of dimension /use wand of dimensions. And like I said, we're going to add much more in this, but not quite yet. And the reason for that is we're going to hop to our load function. We're going to make a few adjustments here. We are going to keep the position element stuff, but we are going to remove the wand.useR objective. And instead, we're going to add in a new scoreboard, objectives, add wand.impulse_block, and it's going to be a dummy objective. And we also need to set that. So scoreboard players set, we're going to do an asterisk. This represents all players, wand.impulse_block, and we're going to set it to 0. Back in our using_impulse_wand function, we want to do a few more things. Execute if entity at s, and then in square brackets, scores equal, set of curly brackets, wand.impulse_block equals ... 0. Run tag at s, add wand.impulse, scoreboard, players, set at s wand.impulse block 2, advancement, revoke at s from wands::wand. And this is going to throw us a warning right now. We'll fix it in just a second. Underneath that, execute unless entity at s tag equals wand.impulse, run return fail, tag at s remove wand.impulse. In our wands namespace, we're going to create a new folder, and we're going to name this advancement. And inside here, we're going to create 2 new advancements. There's going to be wand.json, but there's also going to be use_impulse_wand.json. Let's start off with wand. This one's going to be the most simple, with just a set of curly brackets, criteria, another set of curly brackets. I'm just going to call this empty, another set of curly brackets, trigger, and then in quotes, Minecraft, impossible. That's all it needs. And then switching over to use_impulse_wand, we're going to do a set of curly brackets. We're going to set the parent to wands::wand, which is what we just made. Following that is criteria with a set of curly brackets after that. We're going to call this criteria use_item, and that takes a set of curly brackets. Our trigger is going to be Minecraft, using item, and our conditions are going to be an item with a set of curly brackets and a predicate for that item. And inside those curly brackets is going to be Minecraft, custom data, set of curly brackets, and then let's do wand_type, impulse. And underneath the criteria, let's do comma, rewards, curly brackets, function, wands::wand/using_impulse_wand. So let me explain what the heck is going on here. In our load function, we're going to create a new objective called impulse block, and we're going to make sure every single player has this score set to 0. We have our new recipe with custom model data of 1, a name set to wand of dimensions, its rarity set to epic, it is consumable that takes 68 years to eat, and it has custom data with the key wand_type and the value impulse. Then we have an advancement that gets activated whenever we're using an item that has the custom model data, wand type, impulse, and it's going to run a function called using_impulse_wand, which will run this function. If the score wand.impulse_block is 0 or less, then we're going to add the tag wand.impulse. Then we're going to set the value of that scoreboard to 2, and then we're going to revoke all advancements from wands::wand. When we revoke from an advancement, it will first and foremost remove the advancement that we're removing from, but also any advancements that have that advancement as a parent. So, when we're using an impulse wand, we're going to remove all of the wand advancements. And the reason we're revoking these advancements is so this function runs every tick that the right mouse button is being held down. You see, using item will continuously trigger as long as we're still holding the right mouse button. So every tick, this function's going to run. However, an advancement can only be granted once. So if we already have the advancement, we're not going to get it again, and the function won't run again. So if we want this to continue to run, we need to revoke the advancement. And if the player does not have the tag wand.impulse, it will fail right here. If it does not fail, we'll remove the tag, and based off of the custom model data of the wand, we'll run a function. In this case, it's our function useWandOfDimensions. So here's what's happening whenever we're using the item. While we're holding down the right mouse button and using the wand, this function will continue to run until we release the right mouse button. And the very first time it runs, it's going to set the scoreboard wand.impulseBlock to 2, and then the next time it runs, it's going to check if that value is 0 or less. And because it's 2, obviously that's not the case. This makes sure that impulse wands will only run once while the right mouse button is held. But now we need some sort of system to actually bring it back down from 2. And if you remember, I said that we were going to add some more into our tick function. This is going to be very simple. Scoreboard, players, remove, and we're going to do @a wand.impulseBlock 1. And then execute as every single player if score @s wand.impulseBlock matches ... 0. Run scoreboard players set @s wand.impulseBlock 0. So every single tick, what's going to happen here is we're going to remove 1 from wand.impulseBlock. If it's 0 or less, we're just going to set it to 0. But this is exactly why when we're using the impulse wand, we're setting the value to 2. Because this will run every tick, but the tick function will also run every tick. So if we set it to 2, then the next tick, it'll reduce it by 1, so now it's 1, and if next frame I'm not holding it down still, it'll reduce by 1 again and become 0. However, if I'm continuing to hold the right mouse button down, it will consistently set that value to 2, meaning it will never be 0 or less until that right mouse button is released. Unfortunately, that means our resource pack is also messed up because it was relying on our item being a carrot on a stick, but now it is a stick. So let's rename it to stick.json, and we're going to change the fallback also to stick. But now our carrot on a stick doesn't work as the wand of dimensions anymore, so I'm just going to chuck this into the garbage, and we'll go ahead and recraft our wand of dimensions. This time it's a stick, and let's actually verify that this thing works. Perfect. But let's say I wanted to add a new wand, which we do. We want to create the wand of poison still. Let's go ahead and create a new recipe, wand_of_poison.json, and I'm actually going to copy it from the wand of dimensions and just paste it into here. We're going to change the obsidian to a dispenser and the tip to a poisonous potato. Let's set our custom model data to 2. Change the name to Wand of Poison, and that's pretty much it for the recipe. We're going to go ahead and open up our using_impulse_wand function, and we're going to go ahead and copy this big old line and change the float to 2f, and right now it's still using the Wand of Dimensions function. Let's go ahead and fix that. In our wands folder, let's go ahead and create a new folder and name it Wand of Poison, and let's go ahead and add a new file, use_wand_of_poison.mc function, and the sound I used for it was the honey bottle drinking sound. So we're going to do execute @s run play sound item.honeybottle.drink player @all players, do the 3 tildes 1 0.5, 0. So this is going to play a sound centered on the player using the item. The sound is going to be the honeybottle.drink sound effect. It'll be using the player volume slider, and all players will be able to hear it. It'll have a volume of 1, pitch of 0.5, and a minimum volume of 0. And after that, I'm going to do execute at us again, run, summon, area effect cloud. And this is going to be at the 3 tildes again, centered on the player using the item. And we're going to give this some NBT. Now, this is going to be a lengthy process, so bear with me on this. We're going to put in reapplication delay and set that to 20. Radius, set that to 3.0f. Radius per tick, and we're going to set that to negative 0.005f. We're going to set the particle to a map-like, and in that map-like, we're going to put type colon, and in quotes, Minecraft colon entity effect. And we're going to give it a color, which is going to be negative 7888029. Outside of that curly bracket, we're going to do comma, potion underscore contents, and another set of curly brackets with potion inside, colon, quotes, Minecraft, colon, long underscore poison. Outside of that curly bracket, we're going to do radius on use and set that to negative 0.5f. We're going to set wait time to 10 and duration to 600. This is all the necessary data to create a lingering potion of poison. And I think that's pretty much it. Just save, and then you should be good to go. Oh, wait, one more thing. We actually have to open up the resource pack. And I already added in the model, Wand of Poison, and a texture, Wand of Poison. So in our items, we're going to create a new entry in our items, and this is going to be threshold of 2, and we're going to set the item to Wand of Poison. We'll go ahead and do /reload, and I actually don't have any redstone, so we're going to have to grab a villager from here and get ourselves a cleric. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, that's unintentional. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. That wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, whoops, I know. We actually forgot to make the Wand of Poison use the Wand of Poison function. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Bloop. Oh, perfect. This is exactly what we wanted. So you may be wondering, Curtis, why would we want to do this? I don't know. But that is our impulse wands. And again, just to clarify, an impulse wand is just a wand where you right-click once and something happens, and then nothing else happens until you right-click again. I actually don't want to be carrying this one around with me. It's kind of dangerous. And with this new wand system, I actually have a few ideas I want to try out. So for these, we have impulse wands, but I also want to make a hold wand and a charge wand. A hold wand will continue to do something as you're clicking and holding. And for a charge wand, you'll click and hold, and when you release, it will do something. So I'm pretty excited about that, as are these guys. I really feel like not a lot gets done on this series because I focus so much on doing the data pack development side of things, which don't get me wrong, I love doing, but it makes it very hard to progress through this series. So with that being said, there may be some episodes in the future where I literally just survive. In fact, what I think we'll do is we're going to call it here for today, but in the next episode, we will focus strictly on survival. We won't be doing any data pack work, and we'll just focus on doing some actual progression in this game, because I'm sick of it. I love data pack development, but I don't like that we're 6 episodes in and I'm still in diamond armor. And the only farm that I have going for me right now is the iron farm. I guess I also have the villager breeder. But only that by episode 6? That's nuts! So in the next episode, we'll focus on doing some actual survival stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to get notified when I upload a video. If you're not following already, please consider following me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Blue Sky, and supporting me on Patreon, all at CurtisDoesADig. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.